This is Colin O'Keefe checking in with Thursday's episode of LXBN TV. It was announced earlier this week that charges had been filed in New York against 8 members of a cybercrime ring that had pulled off a massive heist involving ATMs scattered throughout the globe. Joining me to explain the specifics of what happened and what companies can learn from it is Jason Weinstein, partner at Steptoe Johnson, and also former Deputy Assistant Attorney General with the Department of Justice. He is also author on the Steptoe Cyberblog. Jason, first, can you explain what exactly happened here? What are the specifics and how was this heist pulled off?
Sure, Colin. What the case that was announced last week involved 8 members of a much larger international cybercrime ring, and what the organization essentially did is pull off 2 incredibly coordinated global operations that involved stealing tens of millions of dollars from banks through tens of thousands of ATM withdrawals using fraudulent debit cards, all in a matter of hours. And what this organization did was 2 separate attacks, one in December of last year and one in February of this year. And the one in February this year is by itself unprecedented, even if it had been the only one, because it involved 36,000 ATM transactions in about 24 or 27 countries, totaling $40 million, all in a 10-hour period. So it's an incredibly complicated global operation that was done in a very coordinated and efficient way.
Very interesting. So and second, what are the lessons here? How can this type of thing be prevented?
The reality is that there is no way to ensure you won't be hacked. There is no way to ensure your network won't be breached. It's just not possible to guard against every possible means of attack. And the fact is, there are new means of attack being developed every single day. They're really breach protection and breach preparedness is really about mitigating risk. And there are 2 sets of risks that companies face, whether you're talking about a financial institution or some other type of company that might be the target of an attack. One is the risks you face before a breach occurs, and the other is the risks you face if the worst happens and a breach does occur. Before a breach, what every smart company should be doing now, if they haven't already, is engaging in a comprehensive review of their information governance and their data security practices. Now, most people, when they hear that, think that that just means hiring a network security firm to come in and make sure that their systems are protected. And network security is obviously a very big part of it, but it's not the only part. You have to do everything you can to make sure your virus software is up to date and your technical measures are in place to make you as protected as you can. But security is not just about technology. It's also about policies and procedures, and it's about people. The reality is one employee who downloads malware because he or she opens a spear phishing email and allows that malware to get in your system can undermine every other investment you made in the security of your network and your technology. So it's about your policies and procedures for handling secure information and equipment. It's about how you train your employees and making sure that all of your employees view network security as all of their common concern and common responsibility, not just the IT departments. You also need a legal review. You need lawyers to come in and make sure that your contracts with your business partners identify who's responsible for and who's liable for data security incidents, and clearly set out the responsibilities of each of the business partners for data security. It's ensuring that you have insurance coverage for things like this, and that your insurance coverage is up to date. It's ensuring that the company is in compliance with all the various legal requirements, both domestic and foreign, for processing, storing, and securing data. And perhaps most importantly, it means having an incident response plan in place. You have to prepare for a breach even while you hope that one doesn't occur. As they say, you hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And so you have to have an incident response plan in place that you develop and you test and you keep up to date so that if the worst happens, you're ready to go.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, there's so many things that companies need to be aware of here because these heists and these cyber crimes are simply more evolved than ever. So, stepping forward from that, lastly, what are some of the challenges a victim of this heist might face, or something similar might face, after the hack is discovered?
The fact is, a lot of victim companies find themselves feeling like they're being blamed for the crime itself. They find themselves on the business end of inquiries by the FTC, by state attorneys general, by other regulators, and of course, where the regulators go, the plaintiffs' lawyers follow. So a lot of victims find themselves basically in the position of a homeowner whose house gets robbed, who then the police turn around and blame for the fact that they let their house get robbed. And so companies need to protect themselves against that as well. And the best way to protect a company in that situation is to take the kind of proactive steps we've just been talking about before a breach occurs. because demonstrating to regulators and to a judge and a jury the steps that the company took to prevent a breach and to prepare for a breach and to mitigate the consequences of a breach before it even occurred are really a critical part of the company's defense when the regulators and the plaintiff's lawyers come after them. So as I often say, the best defense later is a proactive defense now.
Absolutely. Simply being proactive is crucial in so many areas and in so many instances, and this is absolutely one of them. Once again, that was Jason Weinstein of Steptoe Johnson. For more of his insight on this heist and other cybercrime issues, be sure to visit SteptoeCyberblog.com. And of course, be sure to check out the thriving privacy and data security section on LXBN.com, where we have curated posts from our network's top privacy and security lawyers. And of course, we have hundreds of LXBN TV interviews there as well. Thanks for joining us today, Jason.
Thanks, Colin. Thank you.